Not too shabby. A few rocks from our Lord and Savior. Thank you, Zom. I mean, I didn't just leave them behind, which feels a little bit bad. Because I do appreciate it. Don't get it twisted. Okay, let's drop some confusion powder on you kiddos. And that should do the trick. Fantastic. Probably not totally necessary in that encounter. You know, the ogre was already pretty much killed off before even getting up to us, but still a good proof of concept, a little bit of practice, you know, get our brain juices in the right state of reference there for the future. How are we doing now for money? Okay, quite a bit better. Excuse me? Zom, was this you? Catch? Okay. Dex -5, maybe not ideal, but otherwise, evocable blink, some negativity resistance. Strength +7 means that we could potentially swap into some heavier armor as well in the future. I mean, I don't plan on swinging my weapon too much anyway, so the speed brand, while being up there and one of my favorites, probably not strictly necessary at the moment for us here. And that is not too bad. We can buy all of these. Almost have enough for the teleportation scroll as well, but that's fine. Let's just head this direction for now, shall we? A few more of these scroll piles ID'd, scroll of fog. I mean, unfortunately, it means I can no longer take the easy route of just IDing it here, but that is totally fine. And okie dokie, with all of that, let us head back to where we last left off here. One more floor? This should be the one, right? Oh my gosh, we went deeper than I expected. Not too shabby at all. Okie dokie, I guess we should keep checking in every once in a while. I believe the imps will eventually get stronger. Right? I didn't just make that up in my head. At least with most summoning spells, you know, that's how it works. That's why summon Canine Familiar is so solid, because sure, at the very beginning you're getting jackals that are just being wiped off this plane of existence in moments. But as soon as you get up to, like, even your first hound does pretty well, then wolves, that's where you start to really let the pack take control and the summons do all the dirty work for you. Let's double check. The quality of the imp's weaponry rises with spell power. Okay, so let's actually double check. No, still -3 spears. That's cool. That is fair and balanced, as all things should be. Scale mail of poison resistance. I guess we don't need poison resistance. So chill out, brain. That's not exactly a paradigm changer, but it is nice to come across your first yak. That's always like a good, I don't know, test of preparedness when you're jumping into the middle section of the dungeon here. The first yak you come across is a bit of an omen for how the rest of the run will progress, at least for the near future. Okie dokie. Well, Bear Friend will start blocking the shots here at the very least. And if Centaur wants to be so kind as to come say hello, that's cool too. You, my friend, I guess you're summoned. You probably came from Zom, now that I think about it. For a moment I was wondering if that meant a Maimon was wandering about the level somewhere. But I do believe that a Maimon would have. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Not have summoned poisonous pals, but you know, a bit more permanently tangible sorts. But regardless, we'll just pop away for now. Hopefully that son of a gun has let themselves out, has found the door without too much issue. And you know what? Let us start backing up here, especially smites coming in would be a bit of a deal breaker. At the very least, it seems like we confused the absolute hell out of everyone down there, so that's perfect. In fact, Komodo Dragon, there would normally be a bit of a a nightmare scenario for us. Bit more manageable when they're stumbling around confused. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Okay, we do get them confused again. A bit itself. Oh no. Oh my poor buddy. Canine Familiar is now different in 0.32. Oh, is it really? Is it more consistent in what it brings to bear, or? I'm very curious about that now. Maybe at some point I'll have to do a summoner character. Do like a deep elf summoner. Just to kind of fully play up into that aspect of the run. Scarf of Harm, most likely will never wear, but I'll pick it up. Sure, why the heck not? No time like the present, and how about that? Nice little temple for our troubles. There was lava on this floor, which would have been nice to take note of earlier. You know, if things start to go horribly wrong at any point, we know that we have a little bit of recourse at least. And almost enough to buy another blinking scroll. Oh, hello, my friend, a burial acolyte. Well, let's just try to melt you as quick as we possibly can, shall we, my friend? Not too shabby. Hello, Kiku. We'll be back for you later. Kiku, don't you worry. Eventually we need to embrace the necromancy, though I do have a feeling that I'll be leaning towards the red first before Kiku. Perfect. That's exactly where we want it to be dropped. I mean, really, it's not too bad because we have that Mephitic Cloud. We can, at the very least, leverage our way into victory against most of these kind of standard fare enemies, as long as they're poison vulnerable, and as long as they overly rely on attacks that they need some amount of accuracy for. I guess spellcasters are even more screwed over now that I say it, but regardless, I think you get the general gist of what we're going for here. Searing Ray, still doing alright for itself, but I would like to see something new come down the pipeline sooner rather than later. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's always going to drop us off next to the Cyclops, for sure. Well, I appreciate it, my friend. I'm glad that it was just a prank. But we will eventually have to face off against that son of a gun. Can I kill you before you make it to the stairs? I'm not sure we can. Summons an Inugami that you can heal by recasting the spell. Okay. Interesting. So instead of getting the random assortment of canines, I guess pseudo-random assortment, since it did scale up of skills, you now have your own spirit dogs. I like it. And that's interesting. Yeah, healing by recasting the spell is really nice as well. Maybe I will have to try a summoner. We'll see. Only time will tell. I'm curious, if you do a summoner that worships Red, do your summons get some of the benefits of the undead host? Specifically, I'm thinking about the fact that throwing the torch generally gives your buddies a buff and hurts enemies. So I'm curious how it would interact with that. I don't know, maybe it's too much of a singular thing, you know, going a bit too deeply into the summoning side, so we'll have all the friends in the world, but none of them with, like, quite the right staying power. Who's to say? Potentially will be something for us to explore in the future. Okay, that's not a good start. I guess you have high evasion, so fair enough. You do have some cold resistance. I'm still tempted to see, is the freeze better off? Okay. Well, you're starting to get petrified, so that's one way to deal with our problems. Man, I do love that every single time Zom is giving us just a little bit of a peek into the room of absolute chaos and medlem here. Or Bedlam, I guess, is what I'm trying to go for there. Regardless, let's start dropping some confusion clouds on these sons of guns. Hopefully they'll wipe each other out as much as anything. Son of a gun. I was actually feeling pretty chill that time, Zom, but nonetheless, you probably did it out of the kindness of your heart. So thank you, pal. I do understand and respect that. But okay, I think this wolf will eventually turn against us. There we go. So we led them off into a unpopulated sector of the dungeon, dark alleyway off over in the southwest here. Okay, we just got another mix thrown into our mutations here. Another pip of willpower is crazy. Robust. I mean, I'm never going to be upset about that as well. Oh, and I didn't notice we had mutation resistance. If we can somehow get lucky and keep that around, that is one of, if not the best mutation that we can get our grubby little paws on here. Definitely blast you, kiddos. I guess might as well throw some confusion spores your way as well. Make sure that we're cementing in our continued survival as much as possible. And all in all, not too shabby. Can't complain. And anyway, just started. I was gonna say blasting, but I guess searing might be slightly more appropriate verbiage. The only thing is it makes us sound more like a mid-40s dad in their backyard than a all-powerful spellcaster slinging doom and destruction around us. But porque no los dos, you know? Everyone knows that suburban dads make the best blaster casters, as has been proven time and time again throughout history, of course. And that should be most of our new orcish pals dealt with here. And in fact, most of the floor, besides Chaos sector, which looks like we're just now going to start getting back to. Other than here, though, we're looking pretty good. I am worried about that one undead fish son of a gun, of course. But as long as they're on their own, we can maybe get things sorted just fine. But come right my way, my friend. And not too shabby at all. I guess how far are we? We're 50% of the way towards 11. I do believe that we'll be getting another spell added to our repertoire there, so I'm excited to see what gets thrown our way. Oops, can I confuse you? I can confuse you. Oh no. I mean, I've always heard about fish out of water stories, but somehow it's much more grim when you see it yourself. And not too shabby here. Blast you, my friend. Okay, you do just have to take out the source. That's interesting. I didn't necessarily expect that. I thought they were treated less as summons and more of just duplicate copies of the monster. You know, kind of like the star-cursed blobs or whatever they are in the Abyss. The most annoying enemy of all time, as they're also known, of course. Sir? Yeah, I was about to say, you're confused, and I'd appreciate it if you acted as such. There we go. Okay, well, slowly but surely, we've managed to clear our way through this nightmare. Oh, we do still have the Cyclops. Do I want to fight you? I mean, as long as I can get you confused. Okay, or not, that's cool. Looks like we're just gonna... Everyone goes their separate ways, and we're all chill, happy, fine, and cool. Fantastic. Love to see it. Okay, make sure I don't get confused by this son of a gun. I think that is fairly critical to our continued operations here. At some point, was about to say, Cyclops is probably going to show up again. In fact, let's get those clouds formed in advance. Shall we? Excuse me? That can't be legal. Holy moly, Moth of Wrath. Guess you have low hit dice, but still terrifying. What can I do with you, my friend? 49 health? Eesh. Oh, but not poison resistant. Okay, that gives me some hope. I think what that will require then is us getting the confusion proc once more. There we go. And then you being surprisingly good at tracking us down. What the heck, my man? Get out of here. You're confused. You're supposed to be confused. Act like it, please. Got preemptive Mephitic Cloud there as well. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Well, that's one way to take care of the end of a floor, I guess. No, you son of a gun. You wouldn't. Well, now I definitely hope that our antenna gets sucked back into our head at some point. Ooh, but while I appreciated the gift, Zom, that's a stat stick. Willpower, strength +4, int +5. I mean, we're also getting demons summoned on us all the time, so a bit of Holy Brand might actually not be the end of the world either. Let's try that out. Oh, the wand was Quicksilver, so I am glad that we ended up deciding to face our fears and duel off against the Cyclops there. Not too shabby. Oh, and then you, my friend. I mean, I guess it's a bit of a mixed bag. You know, on the plus side, we have Mephitic Cloud, which pretty successfully counters these Sons of Guns. And then on top of that, we also have poison immunity ourselves. But still was curious if those Sons of Guns were going to be a bit of a pain in the rear. Gotta love confusing enemies into jumping themselves into the pond. Thank you. Let's start training a little bit of armor. Maybe some Evo as well, now that I think about it. And do I want to focus spell casting? I mean, we're in a pretty solid position for our ability to cast our current repertoire, but sure, we'll keep it around. We are about to level up and get another option added to our list here, so fingers crossed and all of that. Hey, Plankenstein, how's it going? The smallest measurement of scientist, of course. For all my physics majors out there. I guess probably not just physics majors. I'm trying to think of who all requires knowledge of Planck. Chemists. I guess most of the higher level sciences, but for whatever reason, saying that out loud doesn't feel quite as pithy and snappy, you know? Yes, the Planck. Used to work for applied particle physics, or in applied particle physics. That's really cool. That was for a while what I was similar to the avenue I was going to take. I think I was going to be a bit more focused on astrophysics side of things. My original dream going to uni was to work in like R&D for rocket development, because I always liked coding, but things kind of fell as they might. And you know what? I do really enjoy coding, so I'm glad that I got a little bit of a taste of that side of things, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at now as well. Max nerd cred for me? Yes! Yes! My only goal in life. Okie dokie. Few kiddos could come right this way. Please and thank you, my howling friends. Beautiful. Ooh, some gloves of strength as well. I mean, not exactly a necessity, but again, it kind of plays into this idea of potentially switching into slightly heavier armor. In fact, have I found anything of better nature here? Chainmail might be a bit much. I guess what's the harm? Let's check it out. Ooh, 1 of Quicksilver. Thank you, Zom. Oh, me oh my, you shouldn't have, you dog. Back down we go. Fantastic. Ooh. You know, that was an accident, but in retrospect, maybe we should pivot over to Lair. I mean, I guess our normal flow here, our normal decree, is that we'll, at the very least, clear out 2 more floors. Switch into the heavier armor. Oh, I got Summoned Lightning Spire. Used to be the most stupidly overpowered spell in the game. Now is a bit more situational. For those of you who aren't aware, Summon Lightning Spire, you used to be able to choose where it got summoned, and enemies were pretty dumb at dealing with the pathfinding around it, so I'm blanking now on the specific configuration, but I know that there were lots of like corner setups where you could do some fancy stuff with the lightning rod. Even, I guess, putting it in the corner and then you standing here, enemies line up, they're all getting like pierced through by lightning. Doesn't get much better than that. But now it randomly places around you, so there's always the chance that I completely screw myself over and lock myself in with a dastardly foe, but maybe that's fine. I also just jumped down, but maybe we're not ready for heavy armor yet. I mean, 21 AC is really nice, but... And we're lucky on the spells. We got some gray ones. You're playing a Djinn as well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, again, maybe a little heavier on the summoning side, but even just like Mephitic Cloud is a really solid level 3 slot in my mind. Again, has the utility to it that you're sometimes in desperate need of. That is what I'm hoping though. Our level 5 slot, I would like something with some real some punching power. Maybe like a conjuration focused spell or something like that. Because right now we're getting good utility. Syrian Ray was great early game, definitely fell off a bit more by this point, like 2d8 at max power. Leaves a little something to be desired, for sure. But let's not worry about that too much, and for the time being, let's see how the new spell goes. Definitely bring you back here, my friend. I mean, at the very least, for like Lair, likely for both the S branches and for most of the regular dungeon here, Mephitic Cloud should be able to carry us to some level of safety, security, and success. I guess no promises, though. We'll have to see.